Hey everyone, today I want to cover how you can learn Unity in a fast and efficient way. This video will be broken down into 3 sections: how to start, developing your first game, and becoming part of the game development community. I believe at the start of anything, you should focus on learning the basics so you can build a strong foundation for growth. No matter how far you go into a sport or software development, you'll always rely on the basics. Think about boxing. That jab that you practiced is one of the most important tools. Same thing for programming. Understanding how object-oriented programming works is important on day 1 or day 1000. When it comes to the basics of Unity, the Unity website has fantastic resources. If you go to the website, you'll be able to find the tutorial page with a project section. I highly recommend starting and completing the Rollerball, Space Shooter, and Survival Shooter tutorials. These will allow you to develop a strong foundation with using Unity and the basics of C#. Now that you've gotten through all the tutorials and you have a good understanding of the Unity engine and a basic understanding of C#, you can get started on making your very own games. I strongly believe in starting small. If you were going to do your very first tournament in something like judo, boxing, or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you wouldn't just turn up and expect to do well. You'd have to practice techniques, spar over a long period of time, and then you could enter the tournaments. For some reason, people don't think this applies for game development, which causes stress, burnout, and eventually quitting. Take care of yourself and start small. Your dream game can wait, and no one becomes an athlete within a year of work. It takes a few years, and the same applies for game development. In order to start small, I really believe that mobile games are a great example. Some of them rely on simple mechanics, such as a one-tap game, which is a simple mouse input. I'd recommend your first game only having 2 inputs. This way, you can design with limitations and produce a really enjoyable and functional game within 2 weeks. I also recommend using something like Magica Voxel to do your game art. It's really easy to use, and you can have nice art assets within hours. I wish I had this when I started out. For the first week, develop a prototype. After you've developed this basic prototype, get a few people to test it out, and then on the second week, polish it. By doing this, you've gone through product testing, which is a huge thing for software and games. And once your second week of polishing is done, publish it on itch.io. And let me explain a bit more about this. So there's a massive game development community out there, and I don't believe people should let their games just die on their computers. You can improve so much faster than most people do by sharing your work and getting feedback. Who cares if it isn't good enough? And I don't mean putting your games on Steam Greenlight. Putting it on itch.io and asking for feedback is not harming anyone. It's allowing you to learn so much more, and it's allowing you to also give feedback for others. It's a great platform. In order to get people to test your game, I highly recommend this new subreddit, which is Game Dev Expo. It's a place for games in all stages of development. People will give you feedback, allowing you to improve quickly. One other bit of advice is starting a Twitter account and sharing your work, and sharing plus commenting on other people's work. It's a great place to get inspiration, talk to other developers, and get feedback on your own work. Outside of this, you'll be able to develop a following so that when you release a game, you'll have built up followers who might share your game and definitely will give you feedback. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. I hope you found this useful, and I can't wait to see what you start developing. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.